Hey everyone, it's Steven here. I want to talk to you today about the CRM that I use and how I use it and how it affects me in the business and how it also helps me in my personal life. But do me a favor before I get into that. Here, do me a favor, if you're not subscribed to my channel, click the link below, subscribe, click the notification link. I'd love for you to be one of my lucky winners. Okay, so the CRM I was using before this was really good, but it was more of a horizontal, and I needed something more linear, more vertical on a CRM, and I'll get into that in just a second. So if you don't know what a CRM is, it's customer relationship management, and it's the way you manage your customers, and it's the way that you manage your board. I also use it to manage personal tasks through the day, and it's absolutely great. So let's look at the teaching board that I have here, and this is called Trailer.com, first of all. So if you want to know the site that I use, it's Trailer that I use. And let's get into this and I'll show you. And this is a teaching board. So in Surplus Fund, we have a verbal yes, we have contracts sitting out, we have the contracts received. Depending on what type of fund you're working, if you're working at tax overage, it may go off to the county. If you're working at state overage, it can go off to the state. Now, let's say I don't have any of these up here. Okay. Let's say that none of these are here on these here. It's really simple to just add this. So what you would do is when you start off with this, and on this, I'm going to go back to my boards here. And if I want to create a new board, all I have to do is create a new board. Okay. And then I give it a title. Actually, yeah, let's do this. So I'll call this surplus funds example. Surplus fund example create. All right. Bam. So I create a board. Now I could go ahead and I could change the background. I could do a few different things with it. But what I could do is like, let's say I want to do what I just did. So I put a verbal yes. Now, verbal yes would be like, I talked to John Smith about the funds he has at 123 Main Street. He says, yeah, David, let's go and go forward. That's a verbal yes. Contracts to now. Contracts received. Okay. These are all that you have right there. So a verbal yes would be like, let's say that I talked to John Smith. So I always start off with the date. So today's the 10th, 10th, 22. Spoke with John Smith regarding property located at 123 Main Street. I put his phone number. I put his email and any other information that's in here. And then I put a brief summary of what the conversation was. Didn't know he had funds, asked for the contract. Bam, it's in there. Okay. Then I come back here and I go ahead and I set a due date. So like maybe I usually say, give me 24 hours to get the contracts out. I try to do it the same day. So maybe by tomorrow I have to do this. I save that. I could also go ahead and attach files on here that I want to attach. Like if I come up here and I want to attach like a screenshot of the, and these are all recent deals I've had and what have you. So I can't actually show this, but I could literally just copy this and upload it and it could be a screenshot of the deal itself. So like, let's say I'm looking at the county and the deal, I'll put a screenshot of that and the skip tracer service I use, which I use app.surpluslist.com. I'll put that in there as well. And I'll put a screenshot of his number and everything in there so that I have all that in there. Boom. So by tomorrow I have to get him. And I also put a task in here, like get contracts out by Friday. Okay. Bam. It's in there. Save. Okay. Done. Now this is done, ready to go. So when I get the contracts out, I go ahead and I move it from here to here. Now, let's say that I'm going to call him. So now I have the contracts out. So now it's March 11th. I'll usually have a description here, like get contracts out to him by Friday, call him at 11 a.m. And I'll usually say like, Mr. Smith, is it okay if I call you at 11 a.m. and if we talk? So I usually say something like, Mr. Smith, is it okay if I call you at 11 a.m. and we just verify that everything's in there? Do you have any questions I can ask you? Anything like that? Bam, that's out there. Okay. Now I've got it out to him. So I'll go and I'll follow up with the full call. So like the next activity will called, said he would schedule with my notary to go out by Monday. Okay. And then maybe you have another task. Maybe it's like, is the notary going to send you the contracts, so they're going to be sent off to the county directly. What's going to happen from there? I put that in notary to overnight the contracts, and then maybe a couple of tasks. Call notary on Monday, call Mr. Smith on Monday as well. Or it might be like, sometimes I'll ask my clients, like, what's your preference of contact? Would you rather me call you? Would you rather me email? So email Mr. Smith on Monday as well. Bam, that's in there. Saved. Okay, that's saved. It's in there. And then I have a new due date. Not exactly a new due date on Monday. Bam, that's in there as well. Then it's going to show up Monday as a due date, and it's not highlighted. Like usually, if it's like the same day or day before, it gets highlighted. This isn't highlighted, but it will get highlighted that day, and it will even show me overdue. It's really nice. And then when I get the contracts back and I get them sent off, now I'll ask my clients, what is your preferred method of contact? And if they say email, it is good if you email your clients and you say, hey, I want to follow up with you and let you know this is going on. So you can also put like reminders to yourself in here. So new activity, email Mr. Smith. So email Mr. Smith, let him know it is still being worked on. Okay. Bam. Save that. And then set yourself a due date. So you don't want to be emailing them all the time, but usually I'll say, hey, how about if I email you once a month? I'll let you know what's going on. They'll say, fine, absolutely. Boom, it's emailed on that. And you keep this going on this. And then when you get paid, it's over here. Now, I put a follow-up column in here. So, and then when this happens and you want to archive it, you can just click this little pencil here, archive it, and bam. And then hopefully you'll have multiple streams of files here. So like, hopefully you'll have a whole bunch of verbal yeses on here and contracts and out, contracts feedback. Now, let's say I speak to Mr. Smith and he says to, so I do 3 to 10, 20, follow up with him on next week that he's considering it. He's not sure. Okay. 2 things. If I have a conversation like that, I'll say, absolutely, sir. 100%. I'll follow up with you on Monday. Is it okay if I go ahead and send you out the contracts on email and then follow up with you on that day? Or is it okay if I do something? Try to get something in with him to be able to get him to know that you're interested, you're working on it. So trying to get some sort of foot in the door. But spoke with Mr. Smith. I actually felt like what it is a state lead. So say let's say you're working a Florida state lead or a California state lead, whatever you're working. California state lead. I'll put the lead number. I'll put the date, whichever you have, and then I'll put like Mr. Smith, his phone number, email. Ask me to get in touch with him on Thursday at 12 p.m. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty specific. Then I would come up here. I would do a due date for Thursday, and I would come down here and I'd even be specific with the time. I would put 12 o'clock p.m. on the time here, and then bam, save it. And then you can put little reminders here if you want to do a little reminder there. I usually look at my Trello board. I try to look at it every single day that I know. And then did that save? That should have saved. Let me see if that did. Okay, save it down. Okay, that saved that time. I don't think I clicked save there. I don't think I clicked save there. So that saved right there at that time. So boom, I have the due date on Thursday, April 14th for Mr. Smith on that. And then he's got that. Now let's say he says, hey, David, let's go do the deal. Yeah, I got your contracts. I like them. It goes to a verbal agreement, contracts and out. Problem file would be like, right now I'm dealing with a sweetheart about, and I've been dealing with this one for a while and I'm trying to work on it. So if you don't know my history, obviously I run a company that I love. There's a lot of mentoring and coaching, and I also do surplus funds on the side. And I do a lot of conversations. I show quite a bit of data with you guys on this. By the way, guys, just a side note on a tangent. If you see that church leader in the background, my oldest is homesick today, although he's feeling a lot better. He was quite sick last night. And when I say quite sick, he had the stomach flu and was just really miserable. So he is with me today. So sorry if you see that chair swinging, you're wondering what that's about. I'm dealing with a deal right now with the state of California where I have a sweetheart woman. She's got a claim in for her son, and he has back taxes. The thing is, he's deceased, and I'm trying to get this settled with the California Franchise Tax Board. She's got something like 40 grand in there. I have this under contract. Be a $4,000 payout, but they want this cleared. And I'm going to ask the California Franchise Tax Board, can't you just dip in and say, hey, thank you, we'll close this? And they're like, no, we don't do that. Even the state, yeah, we don't do that. I'm like, wow, it would just be like, okay, there's 20,000 left. She gets paid. At this point, I don't even care if I get paid. I'm just trying to get her to get paid and get this deal. She needs some money, and I'd love to see her get it. That is a problem file. That is a file that I'm working on. So this is how I organize my funds for my basic funds that are coming in and getting claimed and deals that are going through. This would be my Trello board right here. Now, let's say I'm going to archive all these out and just show you something else. Okay. Another thing I do with my Trello board. So you can have more than one board. I get things on here that are personal, and I have a calendar too, but like to do today. So like, for example, yesterday I had a California, and actually it'll say to do. It won't say today. It'll be like to do. And I would show you my personal board, but I have some phone numbers and some private information on there, but it's like to do. So like yesterday I had a California contract to get out, which I got out. I actually got it signed. It was real nice. I had a California problem file, which I got dealt with and sent to the state, not the one I told you about, but another one. Those right there were, that second one was a really tough situation because it was a stepson, and they were saying they didn't have the will, and they actually had it. I had to go through and between the last couple of days, I had to compress a bunch of files. I put the whole will, the whole will, the trust. It was actually a trust. I put the whole trust in a compressed file. It was 10 different PDF files of all 50 pages long. I couldn't send them. It was a huge mess. I literally took some time and focused on that, was able to communicate with the person dealing with the file and my client, and he's like, man, you're great, dude. This is great. I'm like, don't tell me that until we get everything. As of right now, I'm being told that they have everything they need for that, which is great. But I'll put down, it might be call Mr. Smith, get some videos done. Okay. And boom. And then I have a one that's a long term, whatever's in there, and then I have a completed file, which is right here. So completed file. Then I might have some other like things that are going on, however you want to organize, but it's really nice because what I'll do is I'll come in here, and like on this one, this was yesterday, but so today's Thursday. So, it would show Thursday, and it's highlighted, and eventually it'll show that it's past due. So I'll put the due dates on here, what I want them to do. Now, let's say that videos that are being done, let's say I want to get the videos done by Monday. Okay. I can have a due date here of Monday. All right. Now, when I look in here, I could see that this is due on March, and I'd obviously give Mr. Smith, and that's probably going to be due today as well. Okay. So boom, done. And this is done. Always make sure you hit enter. Once I do this, it could go from here to here. And it's really nice when you see your task completed, because I guarantee you as a self-entrepreneur that I have flips going on. I have a commercial property. I've got surplus funds, which is my first love with the company. And then I work a surplus fund business. If I don't come in here and have a board of what I have to do today on the accomplishments. So I literally have a surplus fund to do, personal to do. And if I don't have that, I'm not going to get anything done, because I'll start getting text messages. I'll start getting emails. I'll start getting other stuff. Now, what I try to do is and this is my personal organized system here. What I try to do is in my email, I will go ahead, I have a calendar, and I'll have all the time structure on what goes on. So like maybe Mr. Smith is a coaching call, and maybe that's at 11 o'clock. That would even, that would be on here, but it would coincide with my calendar as well. And, maybe at 9 o'clock, I check emails, which would be on my calendar for 40 interruptions. And then I don't check emails again until 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. And that's how I do my schedule. The reason why I do it this way is because otherwise nothing gets done. I come in here and start answering emails. I'm checking the bank account. I'm making sure that a check went out. I'm making sure that the goes up. And most of the time, all that's been done because it's already in response to my Trello board. So if somebody really needs something, boom, it's already done, and it's already happening. So very seldom do I get, hey, this is urgent, I need to talk to you right now, and it's truly urgent. Usually you can always wait, and you want to organize your calendar. But this is CRM, customer relationship management, but I also have it for my personal use as well. It's a great board, totally free, and it's Trailer.com. Now they do have it where you can add people, you can invite people to share, like on one of my commercial properties. I have it where the manager and I, we put tasks in, and I've had to teach him this, and it's really helped me to organize the system. So this has been absolutely great. So yeah, just this is how I work it. This is my CRM. This is how I do it. I think I put out one of these boards before, or these videos, and it didn't quite come through. I don't know why. So hopefully this one will come through nicely. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Again, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed, click down below, click the notification link, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.